Namaskar, hello and a very warm welcome to CIET NCERT's live phone-in interactive program. My name is Tanvi Khurana and here we are with a series of school leadership development, and this series is by NCSL, which is National Center for School Leadership. You're watching us on eVidya channel number 6, 9 and 12. So today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is strengthening the role of diet in school transformation, a case of Kargil. So this is unique because of course we take up different topics belonging to different states or union territories. But today we are going to take a case of Kargil. If you have any questions, any queries and you want to ask us in this program, then you can simply call us on our number, which is 8800440559, and it's being flashed on your screens at the moment as well. You're watching us on our YouTube channel, which is NCERT Official. In the live chat box, you can write down your questions, your queries. Till 6:15, we are here and we have two experts with us. They'll be more than happy to answer all your queries, all your doubts. So let me please introduce to you our guest. She is Dr. Charu Smita Malik. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am is an assistant professor from NCSL NIEPA, and as you all know that NIEPA is the National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration. And we have a guest with us. He is from Kargil. So he is Dr. Vilayat Ali Shenmo. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir is a senior lecturer and a state nodal officer from the training district Kargil, Ladakh. And I have a lot of questions to ask him. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'll wait till 6:15. So let's begin this conversation. And of course, I want to ask Dr. Smita here. Ma'am, would you like to tell us what do we understand by the role of diet in strengthening the school transformation? Could you tell us what our viewers have in store for us in this particular program?
Right. The diets are the District Institute of Education and Training, which are established in most of the districts in our country.
Okay.
And the National Policy on Education in 1986 had visualized institutionalizing the practices related to school and educational reform at the district level in these institutes, District Institutes of Education and Training.
Okay.
And post the implementation of 1986 National Policy on Education, diets were established in districts to provide resource support and the academic support to the schools belonging to the elementary stage of education, that is from class 1 to 8.
Okay.
Diets have been functional in districts, and they have had a very important evolutionary process of providing academic and resource support on various parameters that we are going to discuss today to all the schools in the particular district. So here we are going to take the case of District Kargil and talk to Dr. Vilayat in terms of what are the innovations that are happening in diet in the context of Kargil, what are the educational challenges that we would like to know from him, and how the diet is trying to re-articulate the role of the institution in the context of post implementation of National Policy on Education 2020. So what are the different innovations and reforms that we look forward to now from now onwards? Okay. So we're going to discuss this in detail today.
Okay, so a lot to look forward to, and let's begin with the educational challenges, shall we, ma'am? So, sir, would you like to tell us about the different issues and challenges in your district, which is Kargil, and what are the implications for the education system?
Thank you, ma'am. So, Kargil is a district in Ladakh. So, Ladakh is a newly set up UT. So in Ladakh, we have lots of challenge after becoming an UT. So particularly Kargil is a remote area and the climate is very harsh. So the population we have a sparsely populated area. And beside that, our schools are located in very far-flung areas. It's a mountainous region as well as the harsh climate. So it's very difficult for a district level institution to reach out at every level and support in resource as well as for the support to the teachers. So beside that, we have very less instructional days. as compared to other part of other schools in our country. Because during winter season, because of snowfall and harsh climate, the schools are closed for 3 months. If there is a heavy snowfall, then it's remain closed for 3.5 months. And again in the summer season, the schools are closed for 15 days. So because of that, we are not able to provide a support in a continuous manner. So
Right.
we are facing lots of issues and challenges. Besides that, the PTR ratio is 1:6, 1:6 in Ladakh and 1:7 in Kargil district. So yeah, it's very strength that we have a teacher, but at the same time, it's also a challenge for us, because if in a school we have a less student, then and its impact on learning environment, because
Right.
without student,
Right.
the functioning of the school, because the school is a learning organization, so without student, we cannot make a very fruitful teaching learning environment.
But at the same time, you need to have the school, the existence of the school,
Yeah, yeah.
even for those 6 to 7 children
Yes,
in remote
exactly.
areas. Right, right.
Yes,
And what
exactly.
else are the challenges?
Besides that, we have a human resource issues, especially skilled human resource, because being a remote area and a remote district, we have a population of in Kargil district, 40,000
Right.
as per 2011 census. So in schools, the teachers, in the previous year, the teachers did not getting any continuous kind of training because of remoteness. Earlier, when we part of the JNK system, so we are not able to reach at the national level for trainings. But now we are getting an opportunity, but we have lots of challenge. We have around 3,000 teachers there. So
Right.
we out of that, around 20% are untrained teachers. So
Right.
there is lots of issue in human resource management also.
Yeah, so I think in the entire district, you were discussing that you have around 600 schools, which are both government and
yes.
private.
Yeah.
And,
602 schools are there.
Yes, and a total student population of about 33,000.
33,000.
33,000 children who are
Yeah.
involved in the schooling processes,
Yes,
right?
yes, exactly.
So, okay, and so despite all these challenges, you have initiated many projects
Exactly.
as part of the diet, right?
Right.
So I think we'll get to know about it.
Yes, so let's get the details from you, sir. And we would like to know that what is the role of diet in the school improvement process?
Yeah, diet has a very seminal role in the transformation of school system at the district level.
Okay.
Because diet is meant for the support of the school at the district level, because India is a diverse country, so every district has their own challenge. Within Ladakh, the topography, culture and the way of life of the people is totally different. We have different languages, dialects and culture, ethnic groups within Ladakh. So even though we have a very small population, but in that small population we have a large diversity. So in that context, diet can also provide for teaching learning process in a local context.
Right.
Diet can play a role in resource development in
Right.
context of local need. As national education policy also focused on the use of local flavors in the national
And
curriculum.
the indigenous knowledge.
Yeah, indigenous knowledge.
In the curricular transaction.
Yeah, curricular transaction. So that can play very important role in that area. Besides that, that conduct in-service and pre-service training. DLED, before 2-3 years back, DLED was a 1-year program
Right.
conducted by DIET. और उसके बगैर we also conducted nowadays DLE programs, NIS through NIS, and we also support in conducting IGNO programs,
Right.
in pre-service program. Or another important area to work for DIET is in-service teachers training program.
Right. Right.
और इन सर्विस टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग में डाइट ने बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट रोल प्ले किया है. Instead of we have so many challenges, lack of human resources, we don't have infrastructure. So if I say about DIET Kargil, so DIET Kargil का जब फॉर्मेशन हुआ था, it's in 1925.
Right.
1925 में डाइट बना. उससे पहले डाइट एक टीटी स्कूल हुआ करते थे, टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग स्कूल, तो उसको अपग्रेड करके डाइट बना 1995 में. सो आफ्टर दैट एक तरीके से रिसोर्स प्रोवाइड करना और ट्रेनिंग्स कंडक्ट करना ये कर रहे हैं. लेकिन बिसाइड दैट वी आर नॉट एबल टू form a very quality support system because of so many challenges.
Right.
Even though we are doing lots of work in training area, in research area, as well as in material development and support system to the schools.
Right, right. So you were also sharing with us that you have these 5 departments in the DIET. One is
Yes,
planning and evaluation, and you have curriculum and material development. You have research and innovation, of which you are a part. The district resource unit, and of course the entire pre-service and in-service training component of the DIET. So yes, I mean, as a dedicated team, you are working on all these 5 functions for improving the elementary education system. And now I think with the coming of Nipun Bharat, the focus is a lot on preschool.
Yes,
So do you have schools which have preschool sections, or do you liaison with the Anganwadi centers?
Yeah, exactly. After launch of Nipun Bharat mission, we have a 3 option as per new national education policy. So the first option is strengthening of Anganwadi centers for preschool education.
Right.
And the second option was merging of Anganwadis with the nearby schools, and the third option is also to give a facilities if the merging is not possible. So we need to provide preschool education in the elementary schools. We need to provide that.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So seeing that in Kargil lots of schools are merged, rationalize it, and Anganwadis were merged with the schools, and beside that trainings is also going on for the elementary teachers. Anganwadis also workers also being trained at the district level, as well as they were sent to other national institution for getting trainings.
Right.
So that can also play a very important role in that in this area.
Yes.
For example, we are working on localization of content,
Correct.
video translation in local language, and we have around 4 or 5 local dialects. So we are every language has some resource person who are working in resource development in that particular dialect and language.
Okay.
So some research work is also going on. We are collecting some videos translated and stories, local games, so that we can make a easy content, a joyful content for the students, so that they can learn in a local context.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about the collaboration of different structures within a district for school improvement, so what type of way forward do you see in terms of collaborating with the administrative structures and thinking together for school improvement?
Yep.
So if you could tell us more about how many blocks are there, and how do you reach
Yeah.
out to cluster resource coordinators and schools?
Yeah. In Kargil, we have 56 cluster resource center, and we have 7 educational zones.
Yeah.
So beside that, we have a schools which is located in very far-flung areas.
Like Zanskar.
So like Zanskar. So it's very difficult to reach out there all time. But in Ladakh, Zanskar is remain cut up during winter season from headquarters.
Right.
So if we conduct training, most of the training we conduct during winter break.
Right.
So that the class are not disturbed during summer season.
Right.
So for Zanskar, we visit there during summer season. So all the faculty visit there, and we whatever training is done in the winter season, we provide such kind of training at Zanskar.
At
So
that
we
location,
go,
yeah.
at the location we go there and we stay there for 10 days, 15 days, and then we conduct the program. So now regarding this Nipun Bharat mission,
Right.
at local level we are also working. We included the different regional language in for content creation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So in collaboration, I just want to say that if you collaboration is very important at the district level. Within the education system, we are seeing that there is lack of collaboration.
Correct.
So after the start of the implementation of National Education Policy 2020, the collaboration is a key thing because we need to focus on early child care and education. The foundational level is very crucial. So at foundational level, we need the support of Anganwadis and the ICDS department
functionaries in the department, yeah.
and the schools need to cooperate and collaborate, and we also need to implement the vocationalization of the education and sports integration. So all these things we need the collaboration of most of the department which has existed at the district level.
Right.
So if we collaborate, if we plan in a collaborative way, then we can make the learning for a holistic development of the children.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So then, I mean, you kind of propose a collaboration roadmap for.
We also propose a
for
collaboration
between Samagra Shiksha and diets and SCRTs. You do not have as an SCRT.
Yeah,
but
we don't have
yes.
SCRT. So recently we have collaborated with higher education universities. So together we have we conducted some meetings and seminars, and we are planning in future that such kind of collaboration will remain, so that the universities can help the schools and the schools can also contribute for the education system.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. So you mentioned a lot of projects, and every project needs some other kind of research.
Yes.
So what kind of research have you been working on based on schools particularly?
In research, I personally had a research work on diet. So when I completed that research work on focusing on diet Kargil, case study on diet Kargil, so there's a huge gap in the policy and the implementation.
Okay.
So by seeing that, we need to focus on the research part at the district level, considering the local issues and challenges. So in that area, we have already initiated a training session for teachers. We have conducted few trainings for the teachers, and all those teachers who have done some kind of research work training, teacher they were assigned it with some topics. So they just started to work on that, and they will do some research work, and then after that they will submit the findings. So all those findings will be coming in future in a publication. So beside that, we are also focusing on action research. So we are supporting the teachers in doing action research. We are also taking the help of the national institutions like NCERT, NIEPA for that, so that we can do a quality research, understanding the local issues and challenge. For example, we have a local language. Our medium of instruction is in English and Hindi. So all the schools of Ladakh is affiliated with CBSE now. So the students' examination will be done in English language. So there, while learning English, most of the teachers, teach English as a language.
Right.
They're not taking is a, as a subject. They're not taking as a language.
Right.
So one teacher, we just assigned some teachers that to do some action research, so that how we can make English language understandable to the students. So the teachers are developing a English lab at the schools. So through that lab, they are providing support. They find that the students are very much engaged and they are learning while speaking. So we find that if we make the classroom very interactive and very language type, so that the student can speak and can identify the things in English. So that would be very fruitful for them to learn the language.
Okay.
So beside that, we are also doing some research work on local stories, collection of local stories,
Right.
local games, so that we can include all those local stories and games for teaching at the foundational level.
Right.
Because at foundational level, the national policy recommends that it should be playway, and the local things should be included in teachings,
Right.
so that the student can understand in the local context. So it's very important that in every language we need to include some stories, some games which are played at local level, and examples of local environment. Also, if we include that in teaching learning process, then it would be very much fruitful and joyful for the students in the learning process.
Okay. And I think what you said is very critical, because normally when we think of research, we are investigating certain phenomena, or we are finding out certain new aspects of the system. But these findings must also go back to the classrooms. Because action research, the main objective of action research is understanding the teaching practice.
Exactly.
Or the learning process of children, and when you come up with findings, it must feed back into the classroom processes. Otherwise, this is not a research on secondary sources. This is a research on practice.
Yes.
So I think this is one of the key components of any diet, that it works on the area of research and innovation, but research for improving the practice. Not only just for publication, or maybe finding out a report based on
reflection is very important.
Right.
Yeah.
So it must be that is how you design research around practice. So that the practice can be improved and the learning levels of students can improve progressively. So I think that is something that we need to focus on.
Right.
And we were also thinking of executing the perspective planning for the district. So in that sense, these research findings can also feed into the planning process of how to improve the system.
Yes.
Okay. But ma'am, as this program is not just for students, it's for teachers, teacher educators, and school heads, principals. So because he is from Kargil and we want to know a lot about him, so as a training institute, what has been your role in the capacity building of teachers and head teachers?
To be frank, in the capacity development of the head teacher, we haven't done lots of work. Okay. We have, even though because of lack of resources and because of new UT setup, we are not able to contribute in the capacity development of the head teachers. But for general teachers, we have conducted lots of training program at DTH Kargil. Okay. So one of the innovative work we have done recently is that 21 days training programs. So these 21 days training programs are divided into 3 phases. So at the first phase, we call it the teachers, and we gave some general information, and we gave some, we just discuss it content related to generic as well as subject matter.
Right.
Then after that,
generic content में क्या था?
Generic में, for example, emotional development, stress management, school management, time management, इस तरह से ICT का use in education, इस तरह का बहुत सारे topics जो है include किया था. And then after that we also give some information related to the subject, English, science, mathematics and language related.
Right.
So then after that, ये 6 days का फर्स्ट फेज में था. और लास्ट फेज में हमने टीचर्स को देयर वाज अराउंड 58 टीचर्स को हमने 10 ग्रुप में डिवाइड किया और हर ग्रुप को एक टॉपिक जो है आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए बोला. एंड देन आफ्टर दैट दे आइडेंटिफाइड ए टॉपिक एंड देन दे वेंट टू ए फील्ड वर्क इन द स्कूल्स. सो अनदर 11 days जो है उन्होंने स्कूल्स में अपने एरियाज में स्पेंड किया. देन आफ्टर दैट दे कम अप विथ ए फाइंडिंग and they share it all those finding with the teachers and the experts. So expert ने उसमें further suggestion दिया and then after that they will also come in a publication form. So इस वाला training में और जो previous जो cascade manner में होते थे इसमें फ़र्क हमें यही देखा कि teachers are mostly involved. उनका जो है presence जो है इस kind of training में ज़्यादा हो जाता है because they are working in a project और उनका इन्वॉल्वमेंट जो है बढ़ जाता है. और उनको ट्रेनिंग्स में इन्वॉल्वमेंट इसलिए भी बढ़ जाता है कि देन आफ्टर ट्रेनिंग दे विल गो एंड दे विल वर्क एंड विल दे हैव टू प्रेजेंट समथिंग, दे हैव टू डू सम रिसर्च वर्क एंड प्रेजेंट. सो इस वजह से टीचर्स का इन्वॉल्वमेंट इसमें बहुत ही बढ़ जाता है और फ्रूटफुल हो जाता है. तो लॉन्ग टर्म में हम इस तरह का और प्रोजेक्ट वर्क बेस्ड जो है ट्रेनिंग डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे करने की जो है प्लान जो है किया हुआ है. तो बहुत सारे एरियाज में और बिसाइड दैट लैंग्वेज से रिलेटेड जो लोकल लैंग्वेज से रिलेटेड हमने ऑलरेडी इनिशिएट किया है प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग में वर्क में. और टीचर्स एक प्रोजेक्ट में वर्क करके वो अपना फाइंडिंग सबमिट करेंगे और वो एक पब्लिकेशन के फॉर्म में भी आएंगे. तो टीचर्स के लिए एक गाइडलाइन भी बन जाएंगे कि उस एरिया को किस तरह से वो अपने क्लासरूम में प्रैक्टिस करना है. तो इसके बावजूद बहुत सारे ट्रेनिंग एंड ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम्स डाइट कारगिल ने कंडक्ट किया आफ्टर यूटी सेटअप. और इसमें मेन फोकस हमारा रहा डिजिटल कंटेंट डेवलपमेंट में, क्योंकि नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में डिजिटलाइजेशन एक इम्पोर्टेंट एरिया है जहाँ पे हम एक्सेस जो क्वालिटी एक्सेस दे सकते हैं बच्चों को और बच्चों का क्वालिटी इन्वॉल्वमेंट कर सकते हैं. तो उस एरिया में बहुत काम हुआ है, बहुत सारे वीडियोस हमने प्रोड्यूस किया है. अब इसका रिव्यू होगा और अब इसके बाद इस वीडियो को रिव्यू करने के बाद डाइट लद्दाख के कुछ अगर पीएम विद्या का चैनल लद्दाख को आता है तो उस चैनल के थ्रू भी उसका डिसमिनेशन होगा. बिसाइड दैट डाइट का अपना एक यूट्यूब चैनल है, वहाँ से भी हम डिसमिनेट करते हैं इन टाइप्स के वीडियोस को. खासकर पैंडेमिक के दौरान बहुत सारे इश्यूज हुआ था. सो वी हैव डेवलप्ड लॉट्स ऑफ कंटेंट एट दैट पीरियड. तो बिसाइड दैट एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट भी स्कूलों में टेक्निकल सपोर्ट दे रहा है. इंटरेक्टिव फ्लैट पैनल जो है स्कूलों में दे रहा है, साथ साथ टैबलेट्स दे रहे हैं बच्चों को. तो रीच आउट करने की कोशिश हर जगह से हो रहा है. तो डाइट का एक इम्पोर्टेंट रोल इसमें बनता है कि हाउ वी कैन क्रिएट ए क्वालिटी कंटेंट इन लोकल कंटेक्स्ट. सो उस एरिया में हम ऑलरेडी काम कर रहा है. फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे कुछ लैंग्वेजेस है लोकल डायलेक्ट, बल्टी, शीना, पुर्गी, दर्द आर्या, संस्कारी, बोटी. तो इन लैंग्वेज में हम ऑलरेडी जो है कंटेंट डेवलपमेंट, टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग, उनको टेक्निकल ट्रेनिंग देना, इन एरिया में बहुत सारे काम हो चुका है. एंड इन फ्यूचर वी नीड टू वर्क मोर so that we can develop a quality content in local context.
Right.
So इसके बावजूद भी डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे हम पॉलिसी मेकिंग, प्लानिंग उस और इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ सेंट्रल स्कीम्स उन पे भी बहुत सारे काम जो है करते हैं. डाइट एक इम्पोर्टेंट रोल उसमें अपना प्ले करते हैं.
Yes. तो अभी जब ये पैंडेमिक के दौरान बड़ा मुश्किल हो गया था कि सभी लोग आ सकें किसी एक लोकेशन पे, एंड देन पैरेलली यू डू नॉट हैव इंटरनेट कनेक्शन इन मोस्ट ऑफ द रिमोट एरियाज. सो हाउ डिड यू कंटिन्यू विद द ट्रेनिंग?
बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है डाइट के लिए भी और एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट के लिए, डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के लिए. एज आई ऑलरेडी सेड दैट मोस्ट 70% ऑफ द स्कूल्स आर लोकेटेड इन फार फ्लंग एरियाज जहाँ पे इंटरनेट का इशू है. तो वहाँ पे हमने टीचर्सों को एक साइट पे बुलाया, वहाँ पे इंटरनेट कनेक्शन प्रोवाइड किया. तो वहाँ से टीचर्स मीटिंग्स, ट्रेनिंग अटेंड करते थे और बच्चों को भी कुछ एरिया पे जो है आईसीटी सेंटर जहाँ पे नेट और इक्विपमेंट्स का फैसिलिटीज़ रखते थे और वहाँ से वो लोग लेते थे। और फिर इसके बाद जब हमारा निष्ठा प्रोग्राम्स चलते थे तो उस टाइम पे टीचर्स जो है पहाड़ों पे जाके, जहाँ पे नेट कैश करते थे, इंटरनेट कैश करते थे, तो पहाड़ पे जाके वो लोग अपना प्रोग्राम जो है कंप्लीट करके हफ्ते में एक बार जब सैटरडे को आते थे तो वहाँ पे पहाड़ों पे जाके वो अपना प्रोग्राम जो है कंप्लीट करके सबमिट किया। तो निष्ठा भी हम 100% टीचर्स ने जितने सारे कोर्स जो लॉन्च हुआ था 1.0, 2.0, 99% से कंप्लीट किया तो वहाँ पे।
जी जी राइट। So we continue with teacher training, and now you said कि अभी head teacher training या leadership training has not really begun.
Yes, exactly.
So what potentiality do you see for leadership training in Diet Kargil? And you remember that we just a few months back we had a workshop conducted by the National Center for School Leadership on pedagogical leadership. और उस पर कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग प्रोग्राम हुआ भी लेह में. So in the context of pedagogical leadership in the workshop you were also a part of that. So what kind of potentiality do you see कि हम किस तरह से leadership training कर सकें और and we bring together all the headmasters and secondary school principals on one platform to become more effective leaders. So I think that would be one of the way forward questions for you.
तो बहुत सारे ट्रेनिंग्स जो है लीडरशिप में ऑनलाइन जो है ऑलरेडी हमने अटेंड किया है, बहुत सारे टीचर्स ने उसमें पार्टिसिपेट किया. सो सम ऑफ द ट्रेनिंग्स कंडक्टेड बाय NCSL, उसमें टीचर्स ने पार्टिसिपेशन किया है. ऐसा नहीं है कि ट्रेनिंग लीडरशिप में नहीं हुआ है. बहुत सारे ट्रेनिंग्स जो है लोकल लेवल पे भी आफ्टर हायरिंग रिसोर्स पर्सन फ्रॉम आउटसाइड वी हैव कंडक्टेड ट्रेनिंग्स फॉर द हेड टीचर्स. लेकिन इसमें एक इशू है, देयर इज नो कंसिस्टेंसी इन द ट्रेनिंग्स. देयर इज नो कंसिस्टेंसी एंड वी डोंट हैव एनी डेडिकेटेड रिसोर्स ग्रुप. रिसेंटली जो है एक नेशनल सेंटर फॉर स्कूल लीडरशिप ने डाइट ले में अपना एक सेंटर वहाँ पे
we established the school leadership academy of which you are a part.
एकेडमी एस्टेब्लिश किया है. तो उसमें काम ऑलरेडी हो रहा है. बहुत सारे प्लानिंग्स हमने इश्यूज पे डिस्कस करके एक सेटअप बनाया है. तो इसमें ज़रूरी यही है कि इन फ्यूचर वी नीड द हेल्प ऑफ NCSL सो दैट वी कैन कंटिन्यू ए वेरी डेडिकेटेड क्वालिटी ट्रेनिंग मैकेनिज्म. और इसमें बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हेड टीचर्स को ट्रेन करना, क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ द हेड टीचर्स का अंडरस्टैंडिंग यही है कि हेड टीचर्स मीन्स टू साइन ए पेपर, जो बिल पे साइन करना और वो सारा वहाँ तक ही मतलब मोस्ट ऑफ द टीचर्स सोचता है. ऐसे सारे टीचर्स तो नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी हमें ज़रूरत है कि टीचर्स को कि दे हैव अ वेरी बिग रोल टू प्ले
एज हेड टीचर्स.
एज ए हेड टीचर स्कूल एक लर्निंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है. तो लर्निंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में एक लर्निंग इन्वायरमेंट बनाना एक स्कूल हेड का एक बहुत बड़ा रोल हो जाता है. तो अगर स्कूल हेड एक जॉयफुल लर्निंग, एक पीसफुल कम्युनिकेशन सेटअप जो है स्कूल सिस्टम में एक टीम के तौर पे बना नहीं पाता है तो लर्निंग नहीं होता है. तो इसीलिए हेड टीचर्स को अपनी कैपेसिटी डेवलपमेंट के लिए, अपनी इनर जो पर्सनैलिटी है उसको डेवलप करने के लिए, अपने इमोशंस को किस तरह से कंट्रोल करना है, स्ट्रेस को कैसे मैनेज करना है, स्कूल प्लानिंग में क्या काम करना है, स्कूल इम्प्रूवमेंट प्लानिंग के लिए क्या, एक हेड टीचर एज ए रोल मॉडल कैसे प्रेजेंट करें. क्योंकि जब तक स्कूल हेड अपने एरिया में काम करते हुए, कुछ प्रोजेक्ट काम करते हुए नहीं देखेंगे तो द टीचर्स एंड द स्टूडेंट विल नॉट इंस्पायर,
will not
get inspired. So in order to make an inspired head leader, so we need to, all the head teachers need to work in their own way. और वो एक प्रोजेक्ट वर्क पे काम करते हुए टीचर्स देखेंगे, बच्चे देखेंगे तो दे विल गेट इंस्पायर और वो आप उसके साथ जुड़ते जाएंगे और काम जो है बैकग्राउंड में बनते जाएंगे. सो दैट एरिया इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. द पर्सनैलिटी, द लीडरशिप डेवलपमेंट जो है टीचर्स का, हेड का, दैट्स अ वेरी क्रूशियल एरिया वेयर वी नीड टू वर्क लॉट.
Right. So quickly, if you can just last 1 minute because time is less, tell us about the module that you have written as part of the School Leadership Academy.
तो उस मॉड्यूल में मैंने एक इम्पोर्टेंट एरिया को फोकस किया है, क्रिएटिव लीडरशिप for school transformation.
Correct.
कि how a leader can be a creative, because आजकल के दौर में complex situation में we need a creative, innovative leader.
Right.
बहुत सारे complexities है. We have an information है, we have in हर जगह Google है, इंटरनेट के थ्रू बहुत सारे information available है, but we are not able to use those information and make changes in our life. जो हमारा जो नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी फोकस करता है कि कॉम्पिटेंसी डेवलपमेंट,
करेक्ट,
एक होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट, वो तभी हो सकता है जब हम उन इंफॉर्मेशन को यूज़ करके प्रैक्टिकली अप्लाई करके एक चेंज लाए, अपने बिहेवियर में चेंज लाए और एक अपने स्कूल में चेंज लाए और दूसरों के अंदर एक चेंज लाने की कोशिश करें, इंस्पायर करें. तो वो उसके लिए एक हेड टीचर को बहुत ही ज़रूरी है कि इन चीज़ों में काम करने के लिए अपने पर्सनैलिटी पे काम करें, अपने पर्सनैलिटी पे काम करें, जिसमें लर्निंग, रीलर्न, अनलर्न, बहुत सारे ऐसे चीज़ें हैं, माइंडसेट है जो डिजिटलाइजेशन की वजह से वी नीड टू अनलर्न बहुत सारी चीज़ें एंड वी नीड टू रीलर्न. सो इन चीज़ों पे काम करना है, क्रिएटिविटी डेवलप करने की कोशिश करना है, आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स थिंकिंग करने की ज़रूरत है, कोलैबोरेशन, कोऑपरेशन, टीम वर्क, बहुत सारे ऐसे ट्रेड्स जो है वी नीड टू डेवलप एज अ हेड सो दैट वी कैन मेक द लीडर एज ए ट्रांसफॉर्म लीडर, एज ए क्रिएटिव एंड इनोवेटिव लीडर. और हम इसी जो है टेक्निक के साथ, इसी स्किल्स के साथ स्कूल में चेंज ला सकते हैं और बच्चों की लर्निंग को इन्हेंस कर सकते हैं, लर्निंग आउटकम को अचीव कर सकता है और एक पीसफुल, जॉयफुल मैनर में लर्निंग सिस्टम को आगे बढ़ाया जा सकता है.
राइट, गुड.
थैंक यू सो मच सर. इतने सारे पॉइंट्स आपने डिस्कस करे एंड बेसिकली नाउ वी नो दैट स्कूल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के लिए जो डाइट का रोल है उसे स्ट्रेंथन करने की हर स्कूल को ज़रूरत है. एंड आपका जो केस है आपके स्कूल का, वो एक एग्जाम्पल है बाकी सभी स्कूल हेड्स के लिए और टीचर्स के लिए. थैंक यू सो मच सर आज हमारे साथ यहाँ पर जुड़ने के लिए और हमें इतनी सारी बातें बताने के लिए. थैंक यू सो मच टारू मैम, यू एज वेल. You were here a part of our program. Thank you both of you for taking out time. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Pleasure was all ours, sir. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this program. I really hope आपको ये प्रोग्राम उतना ही पसंद आया होगा जितना कि मुझे आया है. अगर आप इसे दोबारा देखना चाहें या जब मर्जी कहीं पर भी देखना चाहें तो NCERT ऑफिशियल हमारा YouTube चैनल है, उस पर आप कभी भी देख सकते हैं, किसी भी वक्त ये वहाँ पर आपको अपलोडेड मिलेगा. और इस प्रोग्राम को हम आज ख़त्म करते हैं और हम अपने सारे सीरीज़ को भी आज के दिन के लिए ख़त्म करते हैं. कल फिर हाजिर होंगे और प्रोग्राम्स लेकर जो कि और सब्जेक्ट्स पर और टॉपिक्स पर बेस्ड होंगे. तो इसके लिए आपको eVidya चैनल्स देखने होंगे और अपना बहुत सारा ध्यान रखिएगा. एंड बिफोर लीविंग ऑफ कोर्स आई हैव अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट अनाउंसमेंट टू मेक, दैट इज रिगार्डिंग द India's G20 presidency. We are extremely proud that India assumed G20 presidency and will be convening the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the country this year, that is 2023. A nation deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism, India's G20 presidency would be a watershed moment in her history as it seeks to play an important role by finding the pragmatic global solutions for the well-being of all, and in doing so manifest its true spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or should I say the world is one family. And with this announcement, we are wrapping up our today's programs. Thank you so much once again. Please take care. I'm Tanvi Khurana taking a leave of you. Namaskar.